Okay, Tuesday here, Longshore and McKnight. So glad you're with us. Longshore, me, McKnight, him. He's combing his hair. Didn't have a brush today. Hey, I hear you. One of those days it happens.
Trying to get everything ready for today because, goodness, we got a big show coming up today. I always want to kind of get the temperature, and I don't want to, beat around the bush. A little bit later on in the second hour, the Phantom's Daily Dog. That's coming up.
I guess we will.
Yep, that's coming up.
We will, Barry, with another selection for today being Tuesday. But since you bring it up, I got to tell you, I've been watching a lot of NBA lately. Great games last night. Just kind of hop in and out. I mean, sometimes I watch for, believe it or not, 10, 12, 15 minutes before changing the channel.
Wow.
So
that's like the rest of us watching Gone with the Wind.
That's
or
right.
Something like that.
They don't seem to have as many timeouts in the NBA until like the last minute.
And then it takes
there's a lot of timeouts, a lot of commercials.
Forever. There's no doubt.
Some really good games. We'll I guess, since we have to, we'll delve into that
a
little later in the show. What really caught me, Barry, early this morning, I mean, wow. Dennis Mitchell with question after question after question.
All right.
Statement. I think that's a statement, not a question.
Sometimes, you in your group, whether you're a sales team or you're working on a jackhammer crew, on the road or something like that, or you're two dudes talking on a sports show.
Yep.
You need energy. You need somebody to bring the energy, whether you're a football team or you're foursome early on one of those scrambles and somebody signed you and your buddies up for the 8 a.m. flight. You've got to bring some energy.
Sure.
How about this from our chat line? Just to start, they're not going to, the whole program's not going to be built upon this. Mm-hmm. Dennis Mitchell, good everyone. Good, everyone. Barry, please tell.
He's trying to. Maybe he thinks you can only use so many words in a chat. I think you can. It's unlimited. I'm not sure, but maybe he's just trying to kind of, pick the right words.
No, let's ask Bob from Pike Road if they're unlimited. Dennis Mitchell says, "Good, everyone. Barry, please tell. Will the Chicago Bears end up in Arlington Heights or Hammond, Indiana? Also, John Ben Zambrowski played at Jeff Davis in Georgia. What is he doing now?"
I don't know about the Chicago Bears. I know there's some talk about him moving. I've never heard.
I'm hoping they're going to Hammond, Indiana, is right across the line.
Yeah, I mean, I know of Hammond, Louisiana. I don't know of Hammond, Indiana.
It's like the Jets playing in New Jersey.
Yeah,
it's not right. There's something just wrong.
So just to be clear here, Barry, is the person in question named John Ben Zimbowski, or is it John Kama?
Also, well, sometimes the punctuation helps.
Yeah.
Ben Zambrowski played at Jeff Davis in Georgia. What is he doing now?
Dennis, if I had a year of when he played, I was at Jeff Davis from 81, 82, 83. The fall of 80, but I don't want to get into all that. I don't remember a person by that name. And if he wasn't there those 3 years, I can promise you I don't know him. I couldn't tell you many people that went to Jeff Davis after I finally graduated. Finally makes it seems like it was a chore. I graduated with flying colors from my high school alma mater, but I don't know Ben, Dennis. Sorry about that.
Well,
what else do we have?
I'm endeavoring. There was a linebacker for Georgia named Ben Zambezi. I remember him.
Oh, the Zambezi family. Oh, heck yeah. They were a bunch of badasses.
You didn't mess with the Zambezis.
There was like 3 or 4 brothers. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Ben, how's it going today? Did you Van Halen tickets?
How are all the other Zambezis doing?
There was a Kirk Zambezi and a Ben Zambezi and
all right,
maybe a Stan Zambezi.
Yeah,
Guido
Petey,
Zambezi.
Paulie, Joey, Nikki,
Yeah.
all the Zambeses.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I do think the Bears will stay in Illinois. Arlington Heights is my choice, not in Indiana. John, also, where is the other sports girl at CBS?
Wow, Dennis is very observant. She is no longer with CBS 8. I think that happened after the first of the year.
All right.
Also, yep.
Is Darren Hood going to get a co-anchor again at Channel 8? Thank you, Dennis. And
he
does know this.
It's Daryl Hood.
Daryl Hood, not Darren Hood. Darren was the lady on Bewitched, her husband. Elizabeth Montgomery's.
Yeah.
Samantha.
Montgomery she was Bewitched was Elizabeth Montgomery.
Elizabeth Montgomery, but she played Samantha. Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway.
Back to the Daryl Hood question, Dennis. No, I don't have any plans to be his co-anchor. I don't know what the status of that is. I do like broadcasting from the anchor desk. I just feel more comfortable there. And I will give you a little tidbit, Dennis. Because
that's what he's after.
Lindsay told me this yesterday afternoon when I was at CBS 8. She will actually be anchoring the news, I believe, on Friday. During middays and the 5 o'clock, I believe. So
I wish she would wear
Lindsay Bonner out.
I wish she would wear her York College sweatshirt because that was I got. I
don't know if I should have announced that yet. I mean, I don't know why. She told me yesterday she was doing it. So
well, then that's on her. If she told John, expect him to keep a secret, please.
She didn't tell me to keep it down home.
Did throw a bone to us, John and Barry. No other pro wrestlers have passed away. That's some good news. Yeah.
Well, Dennis, you have really been busy this morning. We greatly appreciate all the questions and comments. And as I scroll down, here we go. Never saw these last year. Braves are tanking, double digits out of the league.
Injuries, Sean. Injuries.
One word from these people. What am I hearing from John from Wetumpka, Bill from Baltimore? The Braves chatter is back. Fellas, can we at least get to the All-Star break before y'all get so giddy?
I just point out, is this not timely information? No. Is this not true? Is he telling something? The Braves won again. They are 16-7. They now lead the National League East by 5 games. And they've won 6 in a row.
Look at that.
Now, that's the basic framework of all that he was saying. Hey, Braves win again. 6-game winning streak.
Yeah. Didn't Bill from Baltimore? Braves were doing what the Mets are doing. Then you'd hear about it nonstop. Whoa, Bill, what are you talking about? Wait a minute. Are you saying I take cheap shots at the Braves when it's on?
Well, he's not saying it outright, obviously, but he is saying it.
Let me remind you two Braves fans, and let me go ahead and throw Robbie from Greenville in there to make 3. If you're a Braves fan, please let us know. River Region Straw chat line, email longshoremcknight@gmail.com. We'd love to know how many more Braves fans we actually have around. Well, anywhere for that matter. But let me remind you gentlemen, we've been down this road before. Been talking about the Braves. Well, really hadn't been talking about them since 92 when they finally got good after about, 25 years at Fulton County and stunk it up and were lucky to draw 3,000 people to a game. So they got lucky and they got good.
Thing, obviously.
And everybody goes, ooh, wow, I'm going to be a Braves fan now. They're on TBS every night. I can watch them. Little old ladies love the Braves.
You always knew. That's why they got to be America's team, is you always knew where they were going to play. You didn't have to look around for it. All the old ladies, and a lot of old ladies loved the Braves because you didn't have to mess around. You could just, boom, there it is. Let's go, Skip. Let's go, Professor. Let's go, Ernie. Come on. Here we are.
A friend of mine, his mother died at like 95. She watched the Braves every night. It didn't matter if they were in L.A., San Francisco, and they was a late first pitch at 9:40 Central Time. She was still staying up to watch them. Thing.
Since we're doing this, since we're just potpourriing the opening segment, we do have a lot to talk about. Let's keep it going right here. My buddy Troy, who actually is in Troy, I kind of like that. I saw him yesterday. I was eating lunch with Dee and with my mom yesterday at Julia's on 231.
Oh, yeah, love
he came
Julia's.
by there and we were checking out. Good seeing you at lunch at Julia's yesterday. Shout out to Julia's. How do you think Dowd fits in at Auburn in the SEC? Yeah, Thomas Dowd, former Troy player, one of the finest young men I've ever had the association to be around. 6'8". He's a 3, maybe a 4. Power forward, small forward. He committed yesterday in the transfer portal to Auburn. I think he fits fine. He plays with an edge.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit later on with Brian Matthews about this because I was texting him back and forth yesterday about it. Auburn needs, he's not a bad guy. He's not Rick Mahorn. He's more like Dennis Rodman. Every rebound should be his. Every loose ball should be his. He's flying around on the court all the time. And I think there were times last year when Auburn was a little too nonchalant. He'll get a ton of rebounds. He'll hit a 3 or 2. He'll defend, but mostly it's just the energy he plays with. I think that Auburn needed. There were times last year when they didn't really have it. Also, from Ty. Hey, John. I don't know why not John and Barry, but he says, hey, John, I had to listen to the Auburn A-Day game on your former radio station on Saturday. They still have a sports line segment with you and Tighter Insider guy from years ago right up on the homepage.
Does that shock you?
Do we get any, does John get any, residuals from that? Is it like, the guy who sang, the other guy who sang "Wake Me Up Before You Go," doesn't he still get like a check every month from that and from?
Well, being since I left that organization almost 2 years ago and was the program director, but wasn't getting paid to be that. I guess the new guy hasn't paid enough attention to know that that's happening. As a matter of fact, there were a lot of things that were happening people didn't pay attention to while we were there.
Funny question to close it out here. He says, don't they update their website every once in a while? John, you want to take this?
They don't. They don't update anything very often.
Okay, all right.
But that doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me at all. Maybe they want me back. Who knows? But back to the Braves.
Okay, yeah.
Look, folks, we've been down this path before. You get all worked up, you get giddy, you get excited, you start sending these chats and these emails about the Braves, and then lo and behold, here it comes. Yep. We get to the latter part of the regular season. They might limp into the playoffs, and boom, 3 and out, done, over. And it's like, what just happened? Wait a minute. I've been pulling for this team all summer long. I've been waking up every morning to look at the box scores, all this kind of good stuff. I'm a loyal Braves fan. And once again, we fall short. I just don't know how people live like that. I mean, I don't know
how people live with the mindset of, you play 14 games, 15 games, or heck, you play 162 games. And if you don't hoist the championship trophy, the whole thing was a waste of time. I mean, why even put us through that if you're not going to? That's what I don't understand, that mindset that unless you win a title, the whole thing didn't really matter.
Well, if Kalen DeBoer's not hoisting something this December, we'll probably have an opportunity to ask him, did you think you'd get run so quick?
And by hoisting, we're not talking about a Michelob Ultra. We're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, in some areas and in some programs, it's all or nothing. None of these little, I feel so good. I won 9 games this year. That's for other people.
Yeah.
Some people, that just doesn't cut it. And Kalen DeBoer's going to find that out. He better make the playoffs. He better not lose by 35 or 21 or 17.
Or 1 or 3 or whatever, since John's bringing it up that way.
So yeah.
But there's a lot that we're going to get to, and not just responding to chats, although we do love you guys and try to respond to as many as we can.
Speaking of transfers, Barry, I got something on my Bama phone yesterday about some transfers that Nate Oates had picked up. It looks like Nate's going for height and some bulk.
Yeah.
He's going for some height and some thickness. Looking at the height and weight of I
Length and
think it's
girth?
3 of the transfers that are coming in. These
Yeah.
guys are a little bit bigger than Nate's accustomed to having in the lineup.
Yeah, and that's something to look at. Same thing with Auburn. These things are cyclical. You know, did you want to have just a bunch of guys who can run and gun and get killed on the boards every day? Well, Alabama picks up a 6'9", 6'10" kid from Idaho. Went to college at Boise State, named Drew Fielder. He commits to Alabama. To go along with the kid from Mississippi State, Jamarian Davis Fleming, who's 6'9". Brandon Garrison from Kentucky, who's 6'10". There's somebody else that I don't have in front of me that has committed to Alabama. That's like
transfer from Mississippi State.
Yeah, I mentioned him,
Yep.
Jamarian Fleming. Auburn, meanwhile, Dowd is 6'8". Owen Freeman is 6'10". Comes from Creighton. Bucky Oboye,
Love that guy.
from Santa Clara, 7'1". Bucky Oboye, I kid you not, man. You gotta love that.
Hey,
So,
wasn't
yeah,
one of the transfers for Alabama from Kentucky?
yeah, Brandon Garrison.
Yeah,
Yep,
one from
mentioned
Boise
him.
State, Kentucky, and Mississippi State. Those are the 3 I was looking at yesterday.
Yeah,
They're
and
bigger.
all of them are at least 6'10", and Dowd is every bit of 6'8" coming from Troy. So, John, I think
Going tall.
I think Nate Oates is sick of getting out rebounded every game.
well, yeah, I think so
know?
too.
So
How
that's
about
what you
this
can
one?
read into that.
This one, Barry. How about this? I like these kind.
This is from Ty. He said, I love you guys on this format. Terrestrial radio is going the way of the dinosaur. I disagree with that. I still think there is a great place for terrestrial radio. And, you know, I used to work at that radio station, and I hold no ill will to them. I wish them well. You know,
30 wonderful years there.
Yeah, I just,
the business is changing.
We're just, it is changing.
The business is changing. I agree with you in some respects. I think radio is having its struggles. But I will say this. I don't listen to a lot of music on the radio. If I'm wanting to hear music, I'm putting it on satellite. I know where to get it. I know what I want. I know what the genre is. That's where I go.
Yep.
But if I want to listen to a football game, basketball game, baseball game, political talk, sports talk, I will listen to the radio. But from a music standpoint, to me, they're dead. I don't see how they make it from a music standpoint.
I kind of like it, but there's satellite radio. A lot of people think that they're peaked or whatever. So we're not going to get into the business necessarily, but we are happy where we are. That's for sure. And we're happy with all of our people on the chat line. A little bit, we're going to converse.
Keep them coming.
Brian Matthews, auburnsports.com, set to join us in about 15 minutes. Also, Travis Ryer on YouTube at the top of the next hour. We're underway. It's the Tuesday show on time. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com. Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information. Okay, back at it, 20 minutes past the hour on this Tuesday. Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com. In about 10 minutes, Travis Ryer on YouTube talking Tide at the top of hour number 2. Hey, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. A lot of people on the chat line loving the format. Hey, let us know it. Hit that like and subscribe button. Tell your friends all about it as well. Tell them to do the same. And check us out at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com. We're on their Facebook page. A lot of people check us out through that. Our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagrams, X, Spotify, iTunes, so many ways to check us out, whether you watch, listen, or do both. We appreciate it and really appreciate the folks that check us out on their schedule throughout the day, whether they're in their car, at their office, at their home, wherever they may be. We really appreciate that. Barry, I get a lot of pictures from time to time. People will take pictures of their flat screen in their den or porch or living room, and we'll be on it. And they'll take a picture and send it to us.
I love that kind of stuff. Yep. My buddy, the Whetstones, my guy Hunt, who is one of my favorite young people in the whole world, they always watch and they'll take a picture of him in front of the TV. Really kind of like that. Everybody, we appreciate that. Coming up.
Yep. What we got?
The NFL draft.
Yeah.
That's for some reason, it's in Pittsburgh.
They're moving it around. I mean, it's kind of like the SEC Media Days in Tampa coming up this July.
Yeah.
And we booked our rooms earlier last week. I meant to tell you that, so we're good to go with our rooms at Media Days. Yeah. JW Marriott, I believe, is where it's being held in Tampa. Anyway, why Pittsburgh? Why Pittsburgh? Now, I hear Pittsburgh's a beautiful area. I know it's a steel town, but
not bad.
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot better. It's been a little bit since I've been in Pittsburgh, but it's really not bad. I kind of like it okay. The NFL draft starts on Thursday. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Pittsburgh. Interesting to note, the number 1 pick almost definitely
thanks, honey,
is Fernando Mendoza. You can get her on screen. Just have her, have her wave.
She was all made up. She had to leave early today. Sometimes she just comes up in her pajamas, but today she was all dolled up.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fernando Mendoza, number 1 pick in the draft. He'll go to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yep.
But he's not going to be there.
I get it.
He's going to hang with his family and all that. But after that, it's mainly theater out there.
It is.
And I don't get into the focus on 2 things kind of drives me crazy. It's the one thing where the studio stuff is kind of okay because it kind of keeps you grounded on what's happening next. Yeah. It's actually, they used to have, God rest his soul, Chris Mortensen, of course, Mel Kiper Jr., Steve Young, and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of lets you know, okay, this guy's off the board, that guy's off the board, whatever. And I kind of get that. I don't love the cameras in the green room over there where the players are going. There's been a couple of times when there's been some good stuff, like when Aaron Rodgers kept getting passed over, and you can tell you get madder and madder and madder. I remember when C.D. Lamb, the Dallas Cowboys wide receiver, was in the draft room, and he's got all his people around him. He's wearing his tuxedo, and this girl was sitting next to him, and she grabs his phone. She's bored. She grabs his phone and wants to look at it. He snatches it away from her real quick. Oh, no, baby. No,
yeah. Could be some numbers on there he doesn't want her to know about.
I got to have it and see what
See, that's what one thing, it's kind of like the really hot cheerleader or the camera guy finds some hottie up in the stands. Same thing with the draft. If you got a really good looking girlfriend with a low cut dress on or a tight one, it's amazing how often the camera goes back to her. You're like, hey, let's check in to see what Bob Jones is over here doing. They ain't looking at Bob. They're looking at Susie over here that's with Bob.
Yeah, that is true. That's the other thing about it. I don't love it when they go into the green room and they're just cameras in these kids' faces. Okay, yeah. So I'm not a top 5 pick. That means I just lost about $1.5 million. And let me see how sad you are. And the other thing is with the constant reactions. They get the camera guys into that group, into that crowd out there, and there'll be thousands and thousands of them with nothing better to do than to stand. Grown people with their Titans jerseys on.
Yes.
With Eagles jerseys on. And they're the producers telling the cameraman, hey, next pick up is going to be a Jets pick. Go find you a group of Jets fans.
Mm-hmm.
Go find you. And with the 44th pick of the 2026 NFL draft, the New York Jets select Biff Jones.
Well, I mentioned yesterday that Danny Canal says that Ty Simpson's going to be the green room guy this year. They're going to keep going back to him. He hadn't gotten picked, been passed over. He's the guy that the cameras are going to focus on to see what his facial reactions are going to be. That's just Danny Canal's thoughts about it. I just don't think he's ready to be a top 25 pick in the NFL draft.
The first Alabama player, the first player from Alabama that is mock projected to be picked is with the 5th pick of the first round for the Cleveland Browns, Caden Proctor. And here's what they say about that. To the Browns. The Browns' offensive line revamp continues. With their timeline, they have the luxury of taking a high-ceiling prospect who needs development. Still only 20 years old, Proctor has jaw-dropping traits for a player that young. He's big, he's strong, but it says this, quote, his improvement over the course of last season makes him easy to buy into, end quote.
Barry, I saw
Caden Proctor.
Yeah, I saw
his
every
improvement over the season.
Game Alabama. Well, I didn't watch every game. I don't think I saw him against Mercer or whoever that was before the Auburn game, and a couple of others sprinkled in that were worthless. But in the majority of the games, I didn't see that. So maybe this young man has had remarkable improvement from Pasadena through today. Just really worked hard, busted his tail. I'm going to show these people. We'll find out. But Cleveland? Oh.
Well, Ty Simpson projected to go with the 21st pick of the draft to Pittsburgh. And they're going to go nuts. He'll get drafted in Pittsburgh by Pittsburgh. Quote, the Steelers have hired, by the way, Mike Tomlin's no longer the coach.
Yep.
The Steelers hired Mike McCarthy to do what Mike Tomlin never could quite get done, develop a young quarterback. Before injuries hit, Simpson flashed plenty of tools over the first half of the season to grow at the NFL level.
Maybe Ty Simpson will be the next Terry Bradshaw, who came out of La Tech. Look what he did. Won a couple Super Bowls.
Maybe, and Keldrick Falk, the Auburn edge rusher, projected to go to the Bears. That's interesting. I like that.
That is interesting.
That. First round pick.
I think those are going to be the 3 names you hear. I'm not sure you're going to hear many more. After that, for both Auburn and Alabama, there'll be a few scattered in there.
No more in the first round, by the way.
No, not at all. Ty, this caught my attention, Barry. This is what I've been talking about.
He said,
no, wait a minute.
I tried XM when I had the trial run in my car. It was good, but I like standard radio. I would hear the same songs again and again, but without commercials.
Well, that's a good thing because you got so many different formats and genres there that I heard Thunder Island by Jay Ferguson about 3 hours ago. Let me go over here and see what's on classic vinyl. This is actually the one I was.
Oh,
I hit the
okay.
wrong one.
He says, I noticed while watching the playoffs last night that the Zebras are letting them play old school. Knicks Hawks looked like an 80s game. Bodies flying everywhere.
Oh. I don't want to talk too much about it because I know we're going to talk about it in about 50 minutes. But yeah, I'm telling you, I agree. That's why I enjoy it. I mean, these guys, now look, it ain't a street brawl out there, but there's a lot of pushing and shoving. You know, there are definite fouls that are not called that in SEC basketball. Oh, my geez. I mean, these guys will be fouling out in the first half. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I mean, C.J. McCollum for the Hawks hits a shot last night. This guy is all over him in the corner. I don't know how he made it. I don't know how he got the shot off. I mean, he's like in the third row almost. Guys just pushing him, grabbing him, whoop, nothing but net. I'm thinking, wow, now that was pretty impressive. But I don't want to give anything away, but you're right. Who was that from?
That was from Ty.
Yeah,
that's,
Ty.
You know, from a guy who was known to take any shot anytime under any circumstances. That's respect from one shooter to another. The difference is John was a shooter, but evidently C.J. McCollum is a maker.
He can make one.
As important.
He also wanted to know who won in the T-Wolves Nuggets game. Minnesota won it by 5, 119-114. That was the late one. And boy, that Hawk-Knick game wasn't over till about almost 10 last night. So I did not see the T-Wolves Nugget game. I saw a little of the Raptor-Cav game. Cavs won at 115-105. But I don't want to get too much NBA talk because it'll take away from that exciting segment we do every day called the Phantom's Daily Dog. And
that means it was a winner. That means you had a winner. Coming up, Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com next. Boy, do we have a lot to ask him.
Heck yeah.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a 4th location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Get some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 25 minutes to the top of the hour. And on Tuesdays, we bring in our man, Brian Matthews, AuburnSports.com. Brian, how you doing today?
I'm doing terrific, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. We're going to
We-
get Barry to
we've
hit
got
that
a-
mic button.
Yeah, we've got a lot to
There he goes.
get to, and I really want to get to it. But this has been top of my mind awareness for all. We'll get to all the good stuff. But
Okay.
Brian, you remember from way back when you've been at Auburn, around Auburn, even before you started in your career at auburnsports.com. And I mean, I love name Mamadou Njai,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Teapot Brown.
Oh,
Last
love
year,
that.
there was a baseball player named Ike Irish, but you can't tell me that Auburn just got a transfer portal commitment from somebody named Bucky Oboye. Oh,
Yeah, how about that? That's pretty good.
wow. Love
Mhm.
it, love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, Bucky ball. Auburn will be playing
Oboye.
Bucky ball.
Yeah. I
Another 7-footer, right? They
one
signed
of
a guy out
several.
of. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
one of several that they're going for height and
They
size.
are. They got a Boye from Santa Clara, 7-footers. They signed a kid. Well, not a kid, but another 7-footer out of Europe.
Oh,
His name.
oh
I'm
yeah,
not
the
sure
French
exactly
guy.
how to pronounce it, but it's Narcisse Nguy, maybe from France. So that's two
Right.
7-footers. Owen Freeman, who they got from Creighton, who was the Big Ten Freshman of the Year a few years ago at Iowa, 6'10". Thomas Dowd from Troy, who
Yep.
I'm sure Barry knows plenty about, a
Yep.
6'8" forward, could play the 3 or the 4, real physical kid, double machine, I believe, so
Average.
they have added a lot more size to this roster. It's going to be a completely different looking team than it was a year ago. And they also got back, as far as I know, they're going to get back Emeka Porum, who's also a 7-footer. He had that medical condition this past year and had to sit out. But yeah, that's a lot of big boys.
Man, no kidding. A lot of height. Something a little different to be
All
looking
right.
at.
Now to business, and we'll talk about some of those guys in a minute. The upward movers, the downward movers, the surprises, or the confirmations of previously held notions about Auburn after A-Day.
I don't know that there were many downward movers necessarily. I think some of the upward movers would be at the receiver position. I think a couple of freshmen really stepped up there, and you're going to see them. Deshaun Spencer from Saraland, he's probably knocking on the door of the first team right now. I think he's probably the number 2 option at one of the slot positions. And then the Brian Williams kid from Orlando, he had a pretty good spring too. I'm not sure that he's in the same position that Deshaun is, but he's got a chance to play certainly as a true freshman this fall. So I think that's an area. I think Bryce Diaz at linebacker, even though that position is stacked and probably the strongest position on the team, I think he had a terrific spring game and a terrific spring. He's going to play a good bit this fall. Eric Winters, no surprise, came on as a starter in the last year. I think he's a definite starter at safety. Anquan Fagans, I think, has stepped up at safety. He came in with Winters in that class as a true freshman last year. I think both those guys could end up being your starters there. We'll see with Caleb Harris, who has a couple years of experience there as a starter, so that's going to be a really competitive position. I'm trying to think if there's any other guys that have really stepped up and taken a spot.
What about on the offensive line?
Yeah,
Anything
that's
jump
an
out?
interesting position. It's really interesting. I think Derek Plaz, the Miami transfer, is certainly a guy that is going to be a starter at guard, most likely. I think Joe Simmons, who I believe is from James Madison, I think he started left tackle in the A-Day game, but he's probably going to be your right tackle. Stanton Ramo is going to be returned from injury here soon. But I think he's probably a guy. And then Cole Best, I know he had a couple of tough snaps there, but I still think he's the probable starter there at center for Auburn. But I think that's the one position on the team that still has a lot of work to do.
All right. So seeing what you could see during the spring practices and then what everybody saw on Saturday, do you feel any different about how this team will perform in the fall?
I feel different about the defensive line. I was concerned about it going in, but I think they've got some guys that have really stepped up there, and I kind of like the unit just watching them. I mean, to me, I go back to 20 plus years ago, watching Terry Price and Don Dunn out there on the drill, not the drill field, the practice fields. Putting those guys through the works during 2 days at 90-degree temperature. I've just loved watching the defensive line. It's my favorite position. But I think guys like Darian Smith have stepped up. Cody Sigler has come in from Arkansas State and been a star. I think he's Auburn's best interior defensive lineman. Dallas Walker, getting him back at nose guard was huge. Chris Murray, got him back. He wasn't in playing shape this spring, but because he didn't get cleared until late. But that's a big help there. I think the Ole Miss transfer, Deshaun Womack, has been not just a really good player, but a great leader for that group. So I feel much better about that group than I did start of the spring. And then the offensive line, I still am concerned with. I'm concerned with what left tackle is going to look like. I'm not sure how good Rambo is going to be or not going to be. I just don't know. And then I just don't know how some of these guys project in the SEC. Joe Simmons he looks good to me, but he played at James Madison last year. Cole Betts got a bunch of experience at USF, but how's that going to look in the SEC? Derek Plas was a backup at Miami. That's a great offensive line, a great offensive line coach and system, but he is now being asked to be a full-time starter in the SEC. How's that going to look? So I just have a lot of questions about that unit.
What about Byron Brown?
Yeah. He threw 2 interceptions, did not have a great game. Tristan Tia, the redshirt freshman transfer from out west.
Arizona?
I can't remember.
But
maybe Arizona State. He played really well. But I think Byram, quarterbacks have that. It's a day. As I pointed out in my story, Cam Newton, 3 of 8, 61 yards, 16 years ago in his A day. I'm not saying that Byron Brown is going to be close to Cam Newton. He's not. But I just wouldn't read too much into that.
Yeah, somebody sent me that earlier today. 3 of 8, 63 yards, 0 TDs, 0 interceptions.
Yep.
Guy goes on to win the Heisman Trophy and lead his team to a national championship. So, hey, those numbers look okay to me.
Yeah, I don't think Byron Brown's that level of a quarterback, but
no.
When you throw
he's got the Dak
yards,
Prescott label on him.
Yeah,
he's got to be able to, make sure he gets to that level, which shouldn't be too hard.
Auburn will take that. That Auburn needs to win 7 games and end this 5-year, reign of losing seasons. But I think when you throw for 3,000 yards, rush for 1,000 at USF or wherever, those numbers are good. At least carry up to a fair amount in the SEC, regardless. So, of course, if you don't have an offensive line, it doesn't really matter what you have at other positions. So we'll see how everything works out there, right?
We're not going to pin you down on particulars, but what was the general vibe in terms of recruiting on A-Day and that whole weekend, Brian?
I mean, my general vibe is I remain surprised by how well I think Auburn's doing. It's not going to show up in the rankings at the moment because I believe they have 2 commitments. They got one over the weekend from a 4-star tight end, I believe. But, they have done a really, really good job, as good a job as I've seen, of getting talented players to campus and setting up official visit with those talented players. Now, they got to finish. Those talented players, one of the biggest things they're going to decide upon is how much money that Auburn has to give them. So I don't know how well that's going to work out for Auburn, but I think Auburn's doing a great job of getting guys on campus, which has always been important for Auburn recruiting, and building relationships. And those relationships are more important now, not just for this cycle of recruiting, right? But because some of these top guys are going to be in the portal a year from now or a year and a half from now. So having those relationships can make a big, big difference when that happens. So I think overall I give this team an A, this staff an A on recruiting, and we'll see what happens. Official visits start at the end of May, go through June, and all those big decisions are probably going to be made mid-June through mid-July. So that's the time to really watch how Auburn looks when it comes to the rankings.
I'm still, though, thinking, and we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, 6.5 is too low. Auburn's winning more than 6.5 games. I mean, to me, 8 is a realistic possibility. 9 might be pushing it a little bit. And the reason I say that, Brian, is because the schedule, particularly the meat of it, is not easy. I mean, there's a pretty good stretch there in the middle of the season where you're thinking, whoa, wow.
Yeah.
Auburn didn't catch many favors here. But I still think this. I mean, minimum 7-5. But I think they got a really good shot to go 8-4 and possibly win 9 games.
Yeah, they've got a stretch there where they go to Tennessee, go to Georgia, home against LSU, and at Ole Miss. That's in October. That's going to be a lot of fun. And of course they've got road games at Alabama too, and another big one, Baylor and Atlanta. So yeah, I still say let's shoot for 7, and anything you get after that, let's take that as a bonus, and let's build on that. That'll bring a lot of excitement. That'll create a lot of positive momentum going into 2027 if they could do that. But I've sat here at this time for the last 4 or 5 years thinking, surely this team's going to win 7 or 8 games. There's no way, they can't. They'll have another losing season, and they go out there and have another losing season. So I'm just going to remain skeptical until they go out there and do it.
John, I mean, you've known him for a long time. You're familiar.
I feel
with
like
his ways.
we're best friends. If we lived in the same city, we'd be going out to dinner and going out to bars, and family barbecues together all the time. Yes.
So you can understand why the positive vibes that he got, and he was gushing yesterday over the mock-up, the drone views and everything to the changes to the north end zone at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And I was too. But then again, I'm more predisposed to being impressed with something that goes on at Auburn. But the only thing about John, and his ways, is him, one of his first reactions is, why is this taking so long?
Yeah.
I mean, Barry, how long ago was it that I mentioned that north end zone and that antiquated scoreboard over?
When was the first day? I think it was March 19th, 1997, which was the first day that John and I were ever together.
Yeah.
So seeing these renderings, I mean, I was blown away, bro. I said, man, I am damn impressed with this thing. This is really good looking. It's functional. It's got a lot of great space to it.
You addressed it in BMAT's Monday musings yesterday. You called it awe-inspiring, Brian.
Yeah. Well, I think Auburn needs that, right? You've got Sanford Hall. It's incredible. It's the symbol. It's the iconic symbol of Auburn University. The Auburn football program has Jordan-Hare Stadium, and it needed a facelift, and it still needs more to it, right? But this is a great start, and I've seen plans from the north end zone going back 20 plus years, and they've never come to fruition, right? So it has been going on for a long time, but this really meets, to me, it really checks off all the boxes, I'll say. Yeah, it looks good. It's very functional. It brings in that premium seating, where it brings in more money, which they need. And it also opens up the stadium, that part of the campus, to students and visitors and alumni if they want to go to a restaurant, if they want to hold events there, if they want to shop there, whatever other things they can put there, they can now do it. And it's sort of an extension of campus now. It's a multi-use facility. I think you're seeing with Auburn bringing in the soccer match, in June,
Iceland and Argentina.
Right. I think you're seeing them push to find new ways to generate cash and money and revenue by their existing stadiums and such. And I think Jordan-Hare is a great way to do that. They have a concert coming in too. So this is just the start, I feel like.
That to me, Brian, that it was just a hole over there. It was just an area you're just thinking you can't do much here because, it was kind of in a hole and all that.
Like an asteroid landed there.
It really
all the exposed girders. And
it is an actual hole. Yes. Yes.
And so now there again, the flow is better. It can be used a lot better. And you're right. I mean, that it's a space that will be used 12 months out of the year, not just during a football game. I was telling Barry, I mean, in Tuscaloosa, they're having events in the zone almost every night, it seems like. So, and it just looks great. I think it looks good. My only, not a complaint, but the kick six field suites, that one kind of got me there. I went, the kick six field suites. Wasn't it 2 weeks?
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes we get a burn or back there over some things. I can understand that. I mean, but you have to admit that the kick six is one of the most iconic moments in college football history.
Well, it is burned into my memory bank. And I probably stated this multiple times, but Chris Dave, I could have stuck my leg out and tripped him.
He thought about it.
We were not far from each other, right? I was around the 30, I think, when he rode right past me. So yes, we
So,
were.
but who was the player, Barry, we talked about yesterday for Auburn that caught the pass against Georgia?
Oh, Ricardo Lewis.
Yeah, that
Oh,
should
yeah.
be the Ricardo Lewis end zone in the South end zone. I think they should name it for that. Just an idea.
They can name the double wide or the giant TV back there, the Ricardo Lewis. There you go. I've been harping on how ugly those two things are for a long time, and it's nice to see that now I can talk about how nice something looks.
Yes, I agree with you. Yes. We got to go out to dinner sometime.
Oh my
Sounds
gosh.
right, yes.
I would. Okay, Auburn baseball wins the series at Florida. A statement there, right?
I think so. And this was, I think, a statement in a lot of ways. It's the first time Auburn's gone on the road, played a SEC team, a ranked team, lost the first game and come back and won the next two in over 5 years. They had to come back both Friday and Saturday to win those games.
Yes.
You look at a guy like Bub Terrell, who had a really tough first game, got taken out of the game and benched, comes back in game two after talking to the coach and saying, hey, I'm mentally ready. I want to go in there and play. Hits that game-tying home run that really sparked that first home comeback there. This is the first time I think Auburn's really showed a lot of grit and toughness mentally. And I think that's a big step forward for this team because I think it's really talented. I think the pitching staff has been terrific. I just think this team had lacked a little bit of that mental toughness. They faced some adversity, and I think this is now them finally maybe taking that next step forward. So it's going to be really competitive finish. They got Oklahoma this weekend.
Right. At home.
They got to go. Where they got to go? They got to go 2 tough road trips, and they finish up
Texas
with Georgia at home.
A&M on the road, and then Mississippi State on the road back to back.
Yeah, and A&M is one of the hottest teams in the league. Mississippi State's turned things around, and then Georgia to finish up is the best team in the league right now, and they're going to hit about 2,000 home runs, I think, this season. So they are rolling right now. So it's going to be quite a test here for Auburn, but their RPI I think is up to in the top 5. So if they can find a way to finish fairly strong, they don't have to win them all, but if they do fairly good, I think they're on the way to getting another national seed here.
After Keldrick Falk is taken in the NFL draft, who do you think the second player for Auburn will be?
Probably Kieron Crawford, and I think he's a great story. You can remember last year he's a backup. He had 1.5 tackles for loss and no sacks. Former basketball player transferred into Auburn and then just really worked his absolute tail off to become the player he was. One of the best pass rushers in the SEC last season. I think he'll be a second-day pick possibly. And I think Jeremiah Wright's going to be picked, and I don't know after that.
I see a projection with Connor Lew. Does that sound?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Connor Lew. Yes.
Does that sound legit?
Yeah. He's going to be picked somewhere. I don't know how high.
Okay.
I think it'll be interesting to see. I think had he been fully healthy and had an all-SEC year, at center, I think he could have been punching the first, second round. And we'll see. Maybe teams still look at him like that. Now that he's past the injury. So that's going to be interesting one to watch. But yes, Connor Lew definitely going to be drafted too.
Auburn is a women's tennis school after all.
Absolutely.
Hey, did they roll Toomer's Corner? Barry asked that yesterday.
I have no idea. I know
it's just.
I know they came to the baseball game, I think, Sunday before this. I guess with the regular season, they tied for that, and I think they went and rolled it after that. I don't know about after winning that, but they were on the road, right? So they probably just got back today or are getting back soon. So I just don't know.
There you go.
I'm sorry, I don't have the answer.
No, that's good. That's
curious.
good. AuburnSports.com. So much to cover, even now that spring practice is over and it's that long dry spell before the Baylor game in Atlanta. What do you guys got going on, and how can people get involved?
Basketball portal still hopping, right? Auburn has done a great job filling up its front court. I think they're pretty much done there, but they've got to do more in the back court.
Yeah.
So they're looking for a wing who can shoot threes, or looking for a combo guard who can be a backup at the 1 and the 2, and help out Hyde, help out Kevin Overton. So that's something to watch closely. Recruiting wise, still visitors coming in, and coaches will be going on the road soon, and then official visits start end of May. So that's all coming up, and then of course baseball and their run here to the finish. SEC tournament and where they're going to be, once the NCAA tournament's going. All that and more, auburnsports.com. Follow me on Twitter /X at BMattAU.
Brian, thank you as always, my friend. We appreciate your time. Always great insight and analysis.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Take care.
Thank you,
Excellent
buddy.
stuff.
AuburnSports.com. Brian Matthews joining us each and every Tuesday. We always appreciate his time. Great insight there. Barry, I'm also excited about this summer. We'll get into a little music conversation with Brian as well. I was just thinking about that. I saw in Montgomery they're having a concert at Impact featuring Pure Prairie League. Orleans, Atlanta Rhythm Section, and I can't think of who the other one is. It's four acts playing at the same time. Wow.
If it's Pure Prairie League with Vince Gill.
Firefall. That's a strange way to tell me you love me. Yeah, those four acts coming on one big night, one big stage.
If it's Pure Prairie League with Vince Gill, oh my gosh. Firefall?
Actually, I believe Vince Gill is sold out, is coming solo by himself.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's subbed out for the Eagles before,
Oh, yeah, he's been part of the Eagles for like 5 years.
Why not back again with Pure Prairie League?
Maybe it's Poco. Timothy B. Schmidt was in Poco,
Gonna break away.
Yeah, I know you're a big
Crazy
Timothy
Love.
B. Schmidt guy.
As a matter of fact, it was Randy Meisner and Timothy B. Schmidt who were the two high vocalists, the two falsetto vocalists back to back. Randy Meisner was with Poco, and the Eagles poached him out of the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And he was replaced by Timothy B. Schmidt with Poco. And when Randy Meisner says, Glenn Fry's too much of a jerk, I don't want to be in the Eagles anymore. Then they got Timothy B. Schmidt from Poco. And Poco's like, come on.
Yeah.
Give me somebody.
Glenn Fry was a jerk. He was great as Jimmy the Pilot in season 2, episode 1 of Miami Vice.
The great story about the Eagles, one time they were playing at a benefit concert, a fundraiser for, I believe it's California Congressman Alan Cranston.
Mm-hmm.
And Don Felder was the tremendous guitarist, but he's kind of weird.
Yeah.
And Alan Cranston came up and said, thank you for playing. You guys are great. And Don Felder said, thanks, I guess. And that ticked off Glenn Fry so bad. They kept playing, like whatever, Desperado or, Already Gone or something. And while they're playing, he says, I'm going to kick your bleep when we get done with this. And Don Felder, he said, no, I'm going to absolutely just wear you out and all that. So, anyway, that's I love the Eagles.
Yeah, I could see there was a little tension back in the day. It's interesting you mentioned the Eagles. I saw an interview talking about Vince Gill.
Yeah,
Joe Walsh was under the weather a couple of weeks ago, couldn't perform one night, and Vince Gill had to sing all of the Joe Walsh songs that the Eagles do. I wonder how that went.
I'll go ahead and tell you, Vince Gill's my favorite country artist ever. Man, if he was playing in Tuscaloosa, I might take.
When I saw the Eagles about a year and a half ago, and Vince Gill was phenomenal, singing a lot of those Glenn Fry songs. Really, and I was amazed at Joe Walsh. I'm thinking that guy's still alive. I mean, man, he can still play and he can still sing. Huh.
I mean, the fact that Joe Walsh, Keith Richards are from the Rolling Stones, the fact that they are still alive probably does more harm to the pharmaceutical industry, because those guys have taken everything and are still standing. So anyway, we'll come back. Bernie Ledden. Yeah. Plainsman. This is way, way, way early when the group was Bernie Ledden, Randy Meisner, Glenn Fry, Don Henley. Bernie Ledden was a great musician, great guitarist. But he was this was back in their old, kind of like almost country days back in the days. And Glenn and Don, who were the real leaders of that group, they wanted to get away from all that. So they got rid of Bernie Ledden. More to come in a moment. We have Travis Ryer in just a minute or two.
That's right.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry is Central Alabama's best-known jewelry store. Their location at 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree is conveniently located adjacent to Chappie's Deli. At Marguerite's, they have every jewelry item imaginable because they make it. They really make it. From rings, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and much, much more. Marguerite's can also repair, clean, and rework any jewelry item that you want to bring back to life. Whether you're on a budget or have no budget at all, Marguerite's has all types of jewelry for everyone. Go by and see them today or call 270-0074.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272. Okay, welcome back in, everybody. So glad you are with us here today. Longshore McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. In association with our good friends at Stivers Automotive, Stivers Ford, Stivers CDJR here in the River Region area. Of course, Stivers Ford in the Birmingham area as well for all of our viewers and listeners up there in the Magic City. We certainly appreciate that. Barry, it was brought to my attention through the crack research staff of the River Region Straw VIP text line.
Hey, hang on. What Byron Brown's high school stats were?
No, that was last week.
Okay. Whether or not Byron Brown played well in the SEC games at South Florida.
Well,
this could be
I can definitely dig that up.
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah, I can definitely dig that up if you need me to. But I do find it interesting, Barry, and I really appreciate the research staff for the River Region Straw VIP text hotline. Barry, there's only one division currently in Major League Baseball where one team in that division is above 500. You want to guess what division that is?
It's the National League East, where the Braves are 9 games over 500, and they're 5 games ahead of the Miami Marlins in second place at 11-12.
Every other division, at least 2 teams are above 500.
So somebody, actually, grown person presumably, texted you after looking and saying, all right, the Yankees. Okay, they're in first, but the Rays have a winning record. Let's move down to the AL Central. Cleveland's only 2 games over 500, but Detroit's a game over. Hang on. Let me think what other point. The Athletics are leading the West. They're the only team over 500, but the Rangers are. I can't make my point there. Dodgers, Reds. Hey, okay. So I can text John and tell him that the Braves lead the only division in Major League Baseball that only has one team in it with a winning record. Okay, I got it.
And
Let me make sure I text that to him quick before I get that verbiage.
All you Braves fans, if that makes you feel good, then go with it. Go with it. You know, if you're playing a crappy division, been saying that for a decade. And it still holds true today. All right, our man Travis Ryer on YouTube Talking Tide. Just a few of the many platforms you can check Travis out on. Joining us here today on this Tuesday. Travis, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you guys?
Doing really well. It looks as though there's tangible proof now, Travis, that Nate Oates was sick and tired of getting out-rebounded this past season with Alabama basketball, judging from his work in the transfer portal. Do you feel that?
I think so. I think college basketball in general the last couple of years, it's been a little bit retro in that it's been more about the bigs. We had become so perimeter and backcourt centric in college basketball. It's been somewhat refreshing to see teams like, well, most recently, of course, Michigan and Arizona this season had very formidable front court folks. And, Florida obviously is kind of the continuing consistent theme and all that. And if they get those 2 or 3 guys back that it looks like they might going into 2026, 2027, the Gators are going to be there once again. But that's not to undervalue guard play. I mean, we all know how important that is, especially as they say come March. But sure, if I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a sort of philosophical overhaul for Nate Oates, because they're still going to shoot threes. They're still going to get up and down, but you have to be able to compete maybe as much as anything defensively and certainly on the glass.
Travis, your thoughts on Nick Saban walking out with Morgan Wallen at the concert Saturday at Bryant-Denny?
That's a big who cares for me, dog. I couldn't tell you probably. I guess Morgan Wallen did a cover of Cover Me Up by Jason Isbell that was kind of early in his career. And that's the only one I could tell you. I don't have much from the Morgan Wallen collection or catalog. I am going to go see John Anderson. I mean, if you want to talk country music with me, I mean, that's if you want to talk real country.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm going to see John Anderson in June at a little music hall out in Ponte Vedra of all places.
Sweet.
And that's what resonates with me.
Well, I'm with you.
I'd be more interested if Nick Saban walked out with maybe Dwight Yoakam.
Yeah.
That's kind of more of my speed.
I hate to sound old, Travis, but I really didn't know who Morgan Wallen was.
I know who he is. I mean, he is he's incredibly successful. I mean, look, he's packing out football stadiums. Good for him. But, Billy Ray Cyrus was really popular at one time, too. And I get some Billy Ray vibes now, I guess, from Morgan more than anything else.
Since you bring
the mustache.
Yeah. Morgan Ray Wallen.
Big vibes conversation here from a guy who only 2 days ago, I kid you not, this is where Travis's cultural tastes tend to center upon. 2 days ago, the picture of a concrete sidewall with a mural on it from Jerry Lee's music store in St. Mary's, Georgia. That's where Travis's musical head.
Heck yeah.
is
Dwayne
out
Allman
right
on that mural.
Yeah.
Aretha on that mural. Give me that every day of the week.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Well,
100,000 fans at Bryant-Denny to see Morgan Wallen. Give him Jerry Lee's music store, St. Mary's, Georgia, with the Allman Brothers on the side.
I'd much rather see somebody of that. That era. But as we all know, Travis, it was a money maker, and that was
no doubt good for Tuscaloosa. Good, yeah. I loved it. I loved it for the merchants and the commerce there. That's another football weekend, if not more. That's not an East Carolina weekend either. I mean, that's a LSU kind of weekend, I think.
You're right about that. And I think we're going to have more. I mean, get ready for it. You're going to see stuff like this on college campuses all across the country.
I don't think there's any doubt. I think Morgan Ray is going to be at Florida coming up here at the Swamp.
I think he is. I think
maybe he'll drain the Swamp while he's there. We'll see.
Travis, one more basketball question out there. We noted that Nate Oates is going for size in the portal so far. A level of surprise that Amari Allen's not coming back.
Well, he is still possible that he'll come back. I think he entered the draft with the designation of still potentially coming back. I thought, but yeah, I think it's a process he has to go through. I mean, he checks all the boxes from a physical attributes perspective, and so makes total sense to me. It's smart. We'll see where it takes him. But certainly, you look at what they know they're going to lose already through those 1 through 3 kind of spots. It's still a little bit tenuous in terms of what the future might hold for him. But in terms of the front court, yeah, Drew Fielder most recently, when you talk about the transfer portal, and kind of gives you some Grant Nelson vibes, some of the vibes that you get from some of the Florida players and the big players. So, we'll see where it takes them. But yeah, I mean, you knew that Nate would be busy in the portal, kind of like everybody else. You have to be.
Your thoughts about the upcoming NFL draft in terms of Alabama players, and as we're getting into that, I mean, what about Will Anderson, the highest paid defensive player in NFL history? I mean, man, what a career, what a payday, and I'm sure some of these Alabama players that are heading to Pittsburgh for the draft later this week hope that they can get in that position as well one day.
Well, there's a streak to uphold. You got 17 straight drafts with an Alabama first rounder. So it's on Ty Simpson. It's on Caden Proctor. I think this would be the 10th straight year that Alabama would have multiple first round picks if both those guys go in round 1. So a couple different ways to look at that. I think what helps both of them is that they obviously play premium positions. I think their positions respectively in this draft aren't overly saturated with top of the draft sort of guys. So it's easy to see one or both going in the first round. It's potential's there that neither go in the first round. I don't think that'll be the case. I would think one will certainly go in the first round, but there is some intrigue. And it seems to have been growing the last few years where this first round streak is concerned. Alabama trying to keep that going.
Are you a believer in the NFL future of Caden Proctor?
I'm not. I'm not a disbeliever. I'm not on the sort of bust train that maybe some people are already on. I think it just remains to be seen. I think it all goes back to as well. Sort of the mystery with Caden going into this draft for me is how do the different teams view him in terms of positionally? I'm sure there's some teams that are like, if we take him in the top 15, we're taking him as a left tackle. We're going to start him there, and then we'll go from there. But I think there's still a good bit of ground to cover. I think everything he needs physically is very much in play. But it's this is a job, and I like Caden in terms of what you hear from him. Seems like a good dude. Seems like a fun guy. But these are grown people now that you're going to be going against with their livelihood on the line. So I'm going to be interested to see snap in and snap out. That's kind of the question I've had with Caden is every snap, can you get consistency from him? And if you can, I think, he's a guy that can play 10 plus years in the league. With Ty, I kind of go the other way. I question more the physicality of, the NFL season guys isn't getting shorter. So, they're up to 17 games now.
Yeah.
And we saw what 14, 15 games, the toll that took on him this past season at Alabama. So not the biggest guy in the world. But I think with Ty, it means everything to him. So I think whatever he has, he's going to put into it, and fits everything for a guy, not just in terms of scheme and culturally. That's why I kind of like the projections that maybe have him somewhere like Pittsburgh, something like that. Not so much Arizona, but we'll see what happens. It should be fun this weekend.
Yeah, boy, no kidding. Ought to be a lot of fun. Travis, you're a Florida resident. I was thinking about this the other day with the NFL draft coming up, with college football wrapping up spring football. Georgia, Tennessee, and Louisiana all have NFL franchises, but I think we can agree that their college football programs are the most popular: LSU, UT, and Georgia. What's the story in the state of Florida? You got 3 NFL teams. You got, what, 3, maybe more Power 4 teams in college football. Who's the most popular program in the Sunshine State?
I'd say it's still a Florida Gator state. But it's muddied up because so many transients, right? And transplants that you have. Just in the city of Jacksonville, you have well over 1,000 Alabama alums, for example. So you have a little bit of everything in Northeast Florida, to use that as sort of a representative of that. But at the end of the day, I'd still say from Miami to Jacksonville through the Panhandle across, and Tampa down there, I'd still say it's a Florida Gator state. Professional football, I'd say I kind of look at it like this: if you're Jacksonville, and let's say you got the Bucks at home or you got the Dolphins at home, what's the visiting crowd representation going to look like at the stadium in Jacksonville? I would say a lot more Dolphins. And if you go to Miami, I've gone to Miami to watch the Jags down there. There really wasn't a lot of Jags people down there. So I'd say from a professional football perspective and understanding the history of the Dolphins going back to Shula and those years, and the early 70s dominance, those things, I'd say it's more of a Dolphins state. And then overall, though, I'd still say it's a UF state.
And I think it's a good point. It's very diverse. I mean, probably more than the other 3 states that I mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, here in Jacksonville, you got a Georgia club, you got an Alabama club, you got a South Carolina club. The University of South Carolina is not 6 hours away. Columbia, I mean, the proximity to all these different schools. It's you got a Miami club, Florida State club. You've got a lot of different representation, no doubt.
Now, of course, Travis Ryer joins us. Ryer on YouTube. We like to dabble every once in a while in your kart golf programming you have there. So I bring you a 2-part question since we have you on the air. Is the Live Tour doomed, and should it be?
Yes, on both. Look, you can talk about the certainly the vast and seemingly endless financing that is behind the league. But I think even from that perspective, the objective truly of what that was for PIF, and the Saudis, if it hasn't really produced what they hoped it would to this point, it's not going to. Because they brought in the guns. I mean, if you're not doing it with Rahm and Bryson and the other guys you paid, hundreds, really into the billion, I guess you got to say total, to do this, and you're still not getting it done, it's not going to happen. So I love watching pro golf. So I'm not one of these anti-live guys in terms of, it's not appointment viewing for me, but I'm going to watch it if I can, or I'm going to catch highlights of it. But just as an entity and a true sort of competitor, the PGA Tour, if you watched it this weekend, no Rory at Harbortown, and that place was still packed.
Yeah.
And they had a hell of a television show. They needed it. CBS needed it after that final round at the Masters.
Ooh, yeah, they
and Fitz and Scheffler just deliver on Sunday. And that's just, the Masters was a big win for the PGA Tour, and it was a big loss for Liv. And then to follow that up with Harbortown, that was tremendous.
I thought CBS captured Scheffler's facial expression. He looked at his caddy. Fitz made that putt on the playoff hole, the first playoff hole, and he kind of looked at him like, I can't believe that went in. I mean, it's like he was stunned.
Fitz is a dog, man.
Yeah.
He kind of a baby-faced assassin. He still looks like he's about 13, like he should be playing in the Little Masters or something, but he can do it. And that was impressive, because usually when Scotty tracks people down, it's kind of inevitable, but Fitz isn't one of those guys. He's very, very legit.
I mean, they all look like, at the very end, the jacket that you win. I mean, they all look like Lindsey Nelson or something. That
it looked
beautiful.
like looked like Holiday Bowl representatives back in the 70s. I love it.
Travis, all your golf videos, I was curious because you've had a lot of varieties of courses that you've filmed on and things of that nature. Is there a particular style of golf course you like over another?
Donald Ross. I would play every Donald Ross golf course I could play if possible. I am a Donald Ross nut. And I grew up on this is interesting. The golf course I grew up on in Jacksonville is called Hyde Park Golf Club. And anyone that comes to Jacksonville, I'm going to give you one golf course to play. It's Hyde Park.
You have made that point with us before.
It's a public golf course. Okay. But we grew up thinking it was built in 1925. So that's Ross's heyday, the 20s. And but it turns out it was actually a Canadian designer that designed it all those years ago. And that was sort of revealed in the last 10 years. But Hyde Park continues to put a Donald Ross design on the scorecards and everywhere around the club. But it's a great, I love Donald Ross golf courses.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. I really don't like 90s residential golf courses. I
hear you.
I don't
either.
They are goofy. They are forced. Tricked up. Boy, I did play one up in Southeast Georgia on the coast a couple weeks ago, Laurel Island Links. That's a Davis Love III design, and it's a 90s residential, but I that's an exception. That's a really good layout. Davis, that's a nice place to play.
Most of them, Travis, when you talk about a residential layout, it's like, we're going to play in the residential area, and we're going to put a golf course in here if we can squeeze it in.
Hopscotch it in.
It's forced. Yeah, It's fitted, and man, it's we've got a bunch of them around here. And look,
I bet.
Yeah, they try. There's some that I'll still play because they legitimately try, and the conditions of the course and everything are good. And I respect that because I know it's a lot of work and it takes resources and money to do that. It's not cheap. But man, we've got some that just there's no way. I mean, it's rough.
Well, Travis Ryer on YouTube, Talking Tide, Second Helping, No Sleep Teal, football talk, golf talk, a whole lot more.
Yeah.
What's next in the hopper?
Later this morning, after you guys on YouTube, I'm going to do a post-Alabama football look on Ryer on YouTube. That's coming up a little bit later this morning. And then this evening, we are set to do cart golf. I got to take Pops. I'm taking Pops to Florida State UNF baseball at 6
sweet.
Out at UNF, the Seminoles in Jacksonville. So I like to get him out. We'll go get him some We'll go get him some Bono's barbecue pregame.
I got to meet Pops in the stands at the JU Troy game a couple of years back.
That was a white whale for you. I mean,
that was
out of nowhere.
Man. I had a hard time getting back up to the booth and getting myself
I'll tell you what,
again.
Longshore, Barry was like speechless. I don't think he knew what to say because
Pops is a social media legend.
It does happen. It's rare, Travis. Yeah, it is rare, but it does happen from time to time. Is Pops vocal in a baseball game, or does he just take it all in?
Pops has no shortage of opinions, because and you got to be careful with Pops because he's getting older and he doesn't hear so good, so he's louder than he thinks he is.
Yeah.
So, a kid will take a strike 3 and he'll say something, and maybe it's the kid's parents are 2 rows down or something.
Yeah.
When I played and my brothers played sports, Pops had to sit away. Like he would sit behind the left field fence. He couldn't sit with the other parents because
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
he would blast. He was equal opportunity. I mean, he'd blast us.
Sure.
Way more than. But he would blast Johnny, Todd, Brett, didn't matter. They were all getting it. So,
quickly before we let you go, just to kind of circle back, I thought about you over the weekend. I went into a popular grocery store chain in the Northwest Florida area. It's called Greer's, and they really make a really good chicken salad. And
Wow.
so I go in there to get some. I really like it. And I look for it where it normally is, and it wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I asked the lady behind the counter, do you have any more chicken salad? And she goes, no, we've run out for today. We'll have some more tomorrow. But I've got that right there. And I looked at it, grapes, pecans, and cranberries. And I looked at her, I said, nope, don't want that. It's almost like I offended her. She could not believe I would not buy it.
We got to hold the line. I mean,
Yeah.
we can't accept it, because then we'll be left with, that's all we'll be left with. Our place here, Party Girl, our shop, we go through the chicken salad, man. People love it. And we have to almost pretty much daily have to restock it. So I love it. I love the chicken salad.
Yeah, I just tell them make more of your original. Don't give me this crap over here with the stuff in it.
It's not exactly it's not like homemade pizza dough where you got to let it ferment and everything or do its thing for 3 or 4 days. Just throw all you need is 3 or 4 or 5, maybe 5 ingredients, but 4 pretty much. That's all you need.
It's about mayo,
chicken mayo, some onion, and some celery for me.
What do they say?
That's
Keep it simple, stupid. Well, I mean, that's what I always say. Keep it simple.
I want a fruit salad. I'll buy that on the side. I don't need it in the chicken salad. So yeah.
Love it.
Travis Ryer on YouTube. Always great value to be with you. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your week.
You too, buddy. We'll talk next Tuesday. Travis Ryer on YouTube. Check him out. Got a big recap of Bama spring football. Check it out today. It'll be dropping. Ryer on YouTube. I saw this as well from Theotis. That is not all that I bought, Theotis. I bought a couple of other items in the grocery store side, and then I walked over to the Greer's liquor store where it's cost plus 10%. So yes, I did go to Greer's. I had some friends that needed me to bring some stuff back home, if you know, cross state lines with it, because there's certain brands of alcohol that is about half the cost it is in the state store here in Alabama. Just saying.
Well,
just saying.
There you go. So. Lots more still to come, believe it or not. We're only scratching the surface of everything we've got for you coming up on Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Montgomery Regional Airport is getting better the more you use it. MGM offers multiple nonstop daily flights to Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Washington's Reagan National Airport via Delta and American Airlines. And beginning this April, MGM will offer daily nonstop flights to Houston's Intercontinental Airport via United Airlines. All of these cities offer easy connections to destinations all over the country and all over the world. Make travel more cost-effective and less stressful when you utilize your Montgomery Regional Airport. MGM, you can get there from here. Pravel Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Pravel Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet. Okay, well, welcome back in. Glad you're with us. Wow, 28 minutes past the hour in hour number 2 of the program. Thanks to Travis Ryer on YouTube. Check him out. A lot of platforms there. Always good stuff.
There is something I wanted to hit upon. You know, we talked about, we're trying to stay timely, of course.
Yep.
But the NFL draft starts on Thursday in Pittsburgh. Coming up this week in Dallas, the College Football Playoff Committee is meeting.
Again.
Yeah, it's not a huge deal. There's nothing earth-shattering coming out about it. They're not voting on 24 teams or whatever. Probably the big thing, according to The Athletic, Ralph Russo, Chris Vanini, They're gathering for their spring meetings in Dallas. I guess everybody has to have spring meetings or something. Among the options to be considered, they're going to talk about the unresolved playoff expansion fight. SEC has got one idea. Big Ten's got another.
Yeah.
John's got his ideas. I've got mine. So they're going to talk about that, but John, ain't nothing going to come out of that.
No.
One of the things they're going to also hit upon is the blessing and the curse, that's their words, of the college football playoff selection show. It's a curse because it's universally considered to be awful. It's hard to watch. They make the poor chairman of the committee, whoever he is every week, look like a village, dumb guy all the time. He has to take all the hits because less than half the people are ever really happy. And he says, oh, that guy's a bozo. Well, he didn't say that in 2019 when so-and-so and such and such. So number one, it's awful. It's just awful about itself. You get, I don't know, Randy Moss or somebody talking about, well, I think this, we really need to make sure that we keep out the JMUs and the SMUs and the Boise States and blah, blah, and everybody and blah, blah, blah. But the ratings are tremendous. It's a terrible program, but the ratings are great. John, it's like the sports edition of Flavor of Love. Yeah. There's a bunch of women, and Flavor Flav's ugly. He's got jacked up teeth, and he weighs about $105, and wears the big clock around his neck. And we have to buy the premise that there's all these beautiful women that are going to try to, gain Flavor Flav's heart. It was terrible, but it beat out the Auburn, Florida game.
It sure did.
In the ratings.
It was a rerun, Barry, of Flavor of Love. And it wasn't even a premiere of an episode. It was a rerun episode that beat Florida, Auburn in a ratings one week.
The only reason, again, College Football Playoff Committee meets this week. They're in Dallas, some hotel by the airport, I'm sure. They're going to hammer and hammer and yammer on the college football playoff. The Big Ten wants it at 24. I think the SEC is capped at 16. That's all they're going to consider. And all of that. And nothing's going to end up happening about it. But the conversation about, hey, guys, man, is there something we're missing? Can we make this college football playoff selection show a little bit easier to watch? Because people are watching it. People want to know where their teams are going and who they're playing and whether they're getting in and, all of this kind of stuff. But good Lord, it's terrible. So here's my thing. The only reason why I'm bringing it up is they're looking for a solution.
I'm your guy. I'll give you the solution.
Longshore McKnight, we can fly into Dallas. Heck,
I wonder when it comes to ratings, and I remember back in the radio days, it was average quarter hour, during a 15-minute period, how many people were listening?
Because, by and large, most people weren't listening for hours and hours and hours, except to our program.
Sure.
So how many are listening, 15-minute drive to work or to drop the kids off at school where you're hearing Thunder Island and
Shakedown Cruise.
Way to tell me you love and all that stuff.
So, but I'm wondering how, is it just, because there again, it's like College Game Day in the fall. I might have it on, but I'm not intently watching it. There's parts of it I might take, listen closer than others, but I'm walking in and out of the room. I'm doing other stuff. I'm not sitting down for 3 hours and watching College Game Day all day long or all morning long, but I'll have it on. And if I hear something, I'll go, what did he say? There's parts of it I might check out. Same thing with this.
Right.
When the college football playoff is released, I might have it on. I might see, who made it. Really don't care about these guys talking about it for 2 hours after the fact. But, I might check it out. Not every week. If I have it on, I think they start it too soon. And I think that one of the criticisms is ESPN is kind of shaping how they want the playoff to come out because they release these things starting in the middle of October and go over the next 6 weeks and kind of put this, mindset into these fans and maybe even the panel of who should be in over another
Don't tell
team.
me they don't influence.
I would think so. I mean, they want the best ratings they possibly can get, and they're promoting the college football. You'll see promotions for the college football playoff Labor Day weekend. I mean, they're promoting this huge financial package that they have. They want to make much like the Masters. ESPN carries the Masters on Thursday and Friday. They promote it during the college football playoff.
True.
So,
true.
I wonder, there again, I don't watch it intently. I have it, if I have it on, I'll see what's happening. But when we talk with Greg Sankey at Media Days this summer, I mean, the first thing I'm going to say is, Greg, I love you, but I'm tired of the talking. When is something going to happen? I've heard all this talk, no action. I'm tired of it. Are we having a 16-team playoff, or is it going to be 24? Are we going to keep playing the premium non-conference games since there's 9 games on the conference schedule? Or is week 0 now going to be the first week of college football?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm tired of the talk. And to me, the longer they talk about it, the more money they're losing. Let's go. Enough already.
With that in mind, for those people out there, the more Longshore McKnight are talking about the college football playoff selection show, the more money you might be losing by waiting until after the Phantom's Daily Dog before calling your man.
Yeah.
Because that'll change the line. It's a little thing we do kind of to amuse ourselves and maybe amuse you too, where every day the Phantom comes out, not with a pick. I mean, that's too easy sometimes. It's a pick of an underdog. What underdog? What daily dog provides the most value to you out there in a fun sort of for entertainment purposes only kind of way?
Well, very last night we had a game at Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks hosting the Atlanta Hawks. Packed crowd, man. What a crowd at the Garden.
Big.
Place was huge. It was ruckus going on everywhere. Can ruckus go on?
Yeah.
I guess it can.
Rumpus,
But they were really getting at it on a Monday night in the Garden. Real home court advantage. I mean, the Knicks were up by 14 at one point late in the second half. Going, wow, man, it's going to be a tough night for the Hawks.
Yeah.
But they kept fighting, scratching and clawing. I mentioned C.J. McCollum, this guy. He said, I don't know how the Pelicans ever let that guy go. I mean, he is, money. I mean, you need a shot late. He is there to deliver. Even though he did miss back-to-back free throws when the Hawks were only up by 1 with like 8 seconds to go.
The Hawks were up only 1? Wait a minute. The Hawks, again, playing in front of a huge crowd at Madison Square Garden, just to give you a sense of what happened.
And they were down 0-1.
They were down 12 heading into the fourth quarter. Down 12 heading into the fourth. Heck, with 4 minutes to go, they're down 8.
Yeah.
The Hawks pulled one of the rarest comebacks in playoff history, beating the Knicks, overcoming a 12-point fourth quarter deficit.
Yeah.
And the Knicks were the best fourth quarter team in the league this year. After their win in game 1 2 nights earlier, the New York Knicks, I kid you not, were 39-0 this year when leading by at least 12 points in the final period. They are now 39-1.
True. Now, they could have won the game, Barry. I mean, there again, I mentioned C.J. McCollum, who had a great night, missed back-to-back free throws. I think the announcer kind of put the mouth on him too. He goes, man, this guy's he's 5 for 5 from the free throw line tonight. Clunk, clank, missed the next 2.
Yeah.
But maybe that went well because the Knicks got the rebound and went down there into the floor with like 8 seconds to go, threw up a shot that I'm thinking that wasn't very NBA-like.
No.
Didn't go in.
No.
Hawks hang on to win the game 107 to 106. They were catching 6 in the game. Didn't need them. Won the game outright. You laid it all out there. The Knicks,
how does he
big
know?
record in games when they're up by 12 in the fourth. Did not hold last night as the Hawks even up that series 1 apiece, heading back to Atlanta for game 3. So start the week off with a win. Happy about that.
Very good.
So tonight, Barry, we're going out to Los Angeles.
Thank you, Van Earl. What do we got?
Yeah, Van Earl, right. So we've got 3 games tonight in the NBA. Philly at Boston, 6 o'clock. That's on Peacock. Then you got Portland at San Antonio at 7 on NBC.
Right.
And then Houston at the Lakers at 9:30 on NBC. And if the Portland-San Antonio game plays out like that Hawk-Knick game, that Laker game isn't starting at 9:30. No. 9:50 at the earliest. So I might not get to see a lot of the game. I'll try to watch as much as possible. But the Lakers, Barry, are up 1-0.
Yeah, they win. They win 107-99 in the first game. This will be game 2, 9:30 at night. Goodness gracious!
That's 7:30 on the West Coast. Hey. But Barry, I'm thinking LeBron and company. This is their last hurrah. You know, they're going to show the basketball world we still can play. We might be old, but we can still play. LeBron had a great game in the first matchup of this series in game 1. So Houston, Barry, is a favorite on the road, a 5.5-point favorite at the Lakers tonight. And I think you better jump on that quick because that number's if my history tells me that number's going down before tip, so grab it early. But the Lakers catching 5.5, they're up 1-0. Maybe they don't win the game tonight. But you think LeBron's going to let this team lose by more than 5.5? No. And there again, I think the Lakers can win the game outright to go up 2-0 against this Rocket team. So am I going to say wrong team favored? Maybe not. But I do like catching the 5.5 at home. Going to be a big crowd tonight. Always is. But now we're in the playoff basketball.
All right.
I'll take the Lakers and LeBron catching points at home in the nightcap.
There you go. That's our Phantoms Daily Dog. And when we come back, it'll be time for the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. A couple of other things as well.
Yep.
It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a fourth location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best-looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
About 16 minutes to the top of the hour, our man Tobias, I hear you. Covering the spread is entertaining to me too, Tobias. I'm with you there, particularly when you're doing it on a regulated sports gambling site, which we're trying to get here in the state of Alabama.
Yes.
More on that probably after the elections in November. Dow flirting with 50K. Look at we have such a diverse audience, Barry. They're big into the stock market. They love covering the spread.
They're big into the stock market and betting, which Randolph and Mortimer, when Reggie Valentine says, sounds to me like y'all a couple bookies.
Uh-huh.
And Randolph and Mortimer said, see, I told you he'd understand. It's all the same thing, right?
Uh-huh. It's just legalized. Yeah, that's right. You're taking a chance there. There's no doubt about that at all. So
yes,
yeah. So I asked this yesterday. I really don't care either, to be quite honest with you. I just thought it was kind of interesting. But has anybody found out where Kalen DeBoer was Saturday night? Was he at the concert? Was he out of town? I'm just kind of curious. I'm just like to know.
24/7, 365, all the time. Why don't you stick one of those little Apple locator things in his bag or something?
I guess I don't know. Maybe media days. Hey, Coach, I'm just kind of curious. A couple of months ago, were you out of town the weekend of the Morgan Wallen concert? Just curious.
You know what I'd say? None of your business. I could be at Dancing Rabbit, It
won't be the first time I've asked a question and somebody says it's none of your business. So that will not offend me. Believe me. I'm not sure anybody's ever said anything that did offend me. Hey, you want to go to the Auburn game? Ooh, wait a minute now. That's crossing the line.
Now, on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel are 6 topics.
Okay.
Each of which has been meticulously researched.
Correct.
By Gurn Jr.
That's
and
right.
each one of them is brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. And each and every one of them, we have no clue what any of them are.
Never seen these. Not once.
Like that one over there in the red, the Huey. We don't know. We don't know.
Is that like a Japanese hibachi steakhouse? Maybe. We'll see.
All right.
It's spinning away. Let's see what we got here on the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel.
Is it fair?
Is it fair?
Is it foul?
Is it fair?
Is it unfair? All right.
See.
Major League Baseball rule in place for Ohtani. There is a rule that have a maximum of 13 pitchers on your roster, which is always crazy. You got 26 players on your active roster. Half of them are pitchers until my birthday. And then after that, you can have more, for the playoff run. Yeah. Ohtani doesn't count as a pitcher.
Huh.
So they've got 14 pitchers on their roster. Craig Counsell, the manager of the Cubs, he said, I don't understand why. It's a rule to help the offense. To me, to be honest, and I've known the rule for forever. They've tweaked it here and there and all that kind of stuff. Why do they even designate you have to have only this many pitchers, only this many? Why can't you have it? I mean, if you want to have 20 pitchers and 8 position players, why not? I mean, it may screw you over when one of your 8 position players, and you have 8 on the field at any one time, gets hurt. But if you want to be dumb enough to carry 20 pitchers and only 8 pitchers, well, go ahead. Why is it mandated?
Bear, to me, that's kind of like the old Danny White rule. I've talked about this before. Danny White was a former quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. He also was the punter, played 2 positions. I got to think there were NFL teams out there going, whoa. Wait a minute. We can only have 53 people on the roster, and this guy's taking up 2 positions. So that's bringing in somebody else that we can't have because this guy punts and is the quarterback.
Now, there was also Danny White played at Arizona State. There was also a guy for the Cardinals named Tom Tupa.
Yeah.
Tom Tupa was from Ohio State. He was their 3rd-string emergency quarterback, and he was their punter. Yeah. Probably the most famous NFL punter quarterback was Steve Spurrier. Well, except for like Charlie Connerly and Sammy Baugh and stuff like that. Steve Spurrier.
So
his first year, he was backing up John Brody for the San Francisco 49ers, and Spurrier was the punter. Did it for a couple of years. He was good.
I got to think there is a rule in the NFL rule book addressing this issue. Because if I was the coach of a team or a general manager, I don't care about a punter. How many times has a punter in the NFL won or lost a game? I'm sure it's happened at some point in time. Shanks a punt, got teams in field goal range, kicks it, wins a game.
Guaranteed before the top of the hour, the text on a thing where an Auburn punter lost a game.
That was the one that Tuberville kicked up in Knoxville, wasn't it? That punter was a smart aleck.
No, it was in LSU. It was in LSU. And he was a punter place kicker. What's wrong with that? Okay, anyway.
But I'd say we don't need a punter. I'm sure there's got to be somebody on this team that can punt it. Averages 28 yards a punt. So what? Big deal.
You used to have like junior high football, middle school football. You get one of your linemen, one of your big old linemen, just let him kick. Just wail away at it. Kick as hard as you could. There you go.
I think there's an unwritten rule, Barry. I really do. I think that you just can't do that.
The NFL has very few unwritten rules. I mean, they mandate the length of your socks and all that stuff. You can't even wear a do-rag in the NFL. Okay, here we go. Back at it.
All right, what we got?
What can we do here? I want to go. This is the one. Hui ho.
What is this?
Way ho. Hui ho. Hui ho. That is a Hawaiian phrase. Oh. Yeah, the PGA has had at least one event in Hawaii for 60 years, or almost 60 years. The upcoming PGA schedule, they're not. It's not going to happen. And I don't know why. Why are they getting
I'll
out
say
of the
this.
Hawaii business? Used to be Corey Pavin would always win one in Hawaii.
Yeah, I don't think they play the first event, I believe, is in Maui. And then the second event is in Honolulu. And I just don't get the sense, particularly the event, it was the Sony Open, I think, in the Honolulu.
Yeah.
I just don't think the golf course is that spectacular. And maybe the fan interest isn't that great, plus the travel to get over there.
Now,
I hate it for Hawaii, but it's a long way to go to play a golf tournament.
The PGA Tour will not travel to Hawaii in 2027 for the first time. It's 56 years. The season opening Tournament of Champions was in Hawaii. The Sony Open was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And now they're just, the Sony Open. It's just, okay. You got to fly out there. You got to take a boat. No, you can't take a boat. You got to fly out there. And and then fly back, and it was just a headache.
It's a lot, basically you're spending 2 weeks out there, because if you go to the first event, which I can't remember, the tournament event, then you go to the Sony Open, and then
the tournament of champions, and then the Sony
field. You'd have a couple of name players out there, but it wasn't. They're waiting for the Arizona and California, Southern California swing, and then they head down to South Florida. Yeah, I get it. It's a lot of travel. It's kind of like maybe the NFL not playing the Pro Bowl out there anymore either. Well, they don't have a place to play.
Remember the Century tournament was canceled in January on Maui. There was a drought there, and the grass was all crunchy. Now, Kapalua, which is operated by Troon Golf, they're like, they just found out on Monday. They're like, oh, no. Really? Come on, help us out. Okay, there we go. All right. Back at it.
Let's do it. Four more to go. See what we got.
This is good stuff so far. Ho means till we meet again. Yeah. Come on, man.
What we got?
Yeah. Come on, man. Braves did win 6 wins in a row, John, leading the National League East.
Yeah.
Acuna takes one. Now, Acuna, he already looks like the Michelin Man anyway, right?
Yeah, really.
I mean, he's got
Major League Baseball lets him do that.
He's got on more yellow than the Savannah Bananas. Okay, that happened before. Now, this one's not even really. This is almost a strike.
Yeah.
Acuna is all barking at the pitcher and looking mean and everything. That's on Acuna right there. I'm a Braves guy, but get out the way, man. He wasn't throwing at you. If it hadn't hit him, it was a borderline strike.
That's right.
And they took him out. X-rays are negative. He's day-to-day, blah, blah, blah. I'm an Acuna guy, but, sack up a little bit.
I hate it for you. Braves. Worst division in baseball. Okay. 3 more to go. What do we got?
Now, there are divisions with worse teams in the National League East, but
maybe. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you for John's cell phone. Somebody hit him up with that. Unanimous.
What do we got?
Defensive Player of the Year, Victor Wembanyama, 7'4", very athletic.
He's pretty good. Hard to beat. He's one of the, for a tall, to me though, Barry, so skinny, I'm thinking, this guy's got leg injury written all over him.
Yeah, or, you could just move him out of there, because you think of all the tall, skinny guys, the Manute Bowles and the Sean Bradleys, that were 7'5", 7'7", He's 7'4", and they used to just be able to move those other guys out of there,
Mm-hmm.
You had Yao Ming, who was 7'6", but weighed about 350. I mean, he was tough. So Wembanyama, then Chet Holmgren, then also Thompson. I don't know. I agree. He is a terrific player and a terrific defensive player, good shot blocker out there, and a tough guy to move out of the paint. There we go. All right, unanimous.
Yeah,
is our latest.
Kind of hard to argue with that. Okay, blue and red panel left. No way.
As always.
Yeah, what do we got? Let's see where it ends up.
Not in my swamp.
Oh,
what is this, Shrek?
Okay. Not in my swamp.
An alligator.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Is he going to eat this? We don't want to see it.
Is it a tiger?
Oh, it's another alligator.
Is
it another gator chasing off? What is that up there? Chasing off another gator. Where is
Gator's just out there sunning. Oh,
yeah. He says, back off. This is my turf.
Yeah, man.
That
alligator's moving pretty fast in the water.
Yeah, they're faster in water than they are on land.
But what I find interesting, Barry, it looks like this guy is filming this from his porch.
Yeah.
In his house. Well, I don't want to live that close to an alligator.
Man, when I grew up in Central Florida, we had a couple of places where we'd go out swimming, and you had to kind of watch out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's got a swimming pool with a fencing net fencing around it. And I see some of these things where the guy's walking his little dog by the riverbank like that, and an alligator jumps out and grabs the dog. I mean,
all of a sudden, you're walking along, enjoying the all of a sudden you hear a whoop.
Well, who wants that? Yeah, I don't get it.
So what
All
do you do? Do you
right,
kill all the gators? I don't think so. I mean,
yeah, well,
there's
say-
fate too.
Yeah, get back up in your neck of the woods. Quit hanging around here.
All right, young
All right.
man.
Yeah, I used to be playing golf at Sandestinbury. You'd be walking down the fairway with an alligator over there.
Oh,
Hey,
I
what
used
the
to be
heck?
a bellman at
Jeez.
Sandestin. I used to work at Sandestin, and that was
Ooh.
a thing. Hey, man, Barry, going out there, there's an alligator on 14. I'm thinking, well, what in the heck do you want me to do about it? I'm working for tips. All right, young man.
Young man, what you got?
Oh, yeah. 19-year-old rookie.
Mhm.
Philadelphia Flyers, Cinderella
Okay.
story, I guess. I'd
Yep.
love to get his first name, but I don't know it. Flyers are, 19-year-old kid.
Out of nowhere.
His last name is Martoni, playing for Philadelphia. Don't know
Yep.
his first name, but the Penguins. Get it up there. Let's see the guy's name anyway. No. Down. Porter Martoni.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
How many hockey players are named Porter?
I've heard of Smoke Porterhouse.
Yeah.
I've heard of Porter Wagner, who used to
Uh-huh.
sing with Dolly Parton. That's about
Uh-huh.
it. Well, there we go.
There's
That is our Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic
Yep.
wheel presented by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too. Many thanks today for getting the program started off right with plenty of energy from Dennis Mitchell, starting
Woo,
us
Dennis.
off with several
Yeah.
incendiary questions having to do with Ben Zambezi, what happened to the sports girl on CBS 8, and will Daryl Hood be an anchor again? That got us going. That got us
I
started.
did. Dennis, man, you are on fire. You were on fire today. Great stuff. Tomorrow, CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News, will join us here on the program. Looking forward to that. We have a lot of other great topics we're going to get to tomorrow on the program as well. And as always, want you to be a part of what we do here. We greatly appreciate it.
Glad you're along with us. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.